Hi, everybody. It's Will on Y4, and I'm here with, I think, one of my greatest factories. You can see it's laid out in front of us, and I'm going to go down and show you all and talk to you all about it and show you around. But you can see it's got a little of everything. So, first, let me apologize for my voice. I'm here in LA, and the smoke has really done a lot to my throat. But I'm okay, and my family is okay, thank God. But this factory that you see in front of you is the product of two amazing mods. So the first mod is More Manufacturing and Item Sorting by Betamax 76. And this mod was the basis for my last video, in which I used it to show you how you can make all of those exotic and valuable chems. But today we're looking at how it is possible to make an incredible variety of foods. This mod is just over the top in terms of what you can do with it, and you'll see in a minute. And secondly, just like with my last few mods, I'm basing the physical structure on something Wicked 3's Wicked Workshop. This particular version, which is the fourth, I think, in his series, is called Fortified. And you'll see there's tremendous, beautiful fortified structures that will be where I'm going to place this factory. So when I say food, I'm not fooling around, guys. Take a look at this. This is going to be two videos. I'm going to do food today, and the beverages and vending machines will come up next, because it's too much. Altogether, 151 food items. And I may be off by one or two, so don't hold me to it. But we're going to do the food, as I said. The builder is on the left. The number of products there, pretty obvious. The first builder is called Produce. It makes 16 products. Then there's the cloning machine that makes quark degenerate tissue, which you need for one of the, or maybe a couple of the items, I don't remember. Then there's the cloning machine that does meat and dairy, 14 different products, butter and eggs and so on. There's the seaweed tank. And the seaweed tank is critical because it manufactures nutrient and fiber, which is very important for food production, not a big surprise. There's a water filtration system. We're only going to use it for distilled water because there's no recipe requiring sparkling yet, but maybe that's something that's coming up. Then we have builders for the Red Harvest, that's 11. Basic, 9. Exotic, 11. Advanced Nutrition, that's a vending machine. We're using 3 of them for food, and then I'm going to get to the rest of the products, and it makes baskets of different types of food. We'll do that in video 2. And then Old Earth, our standard spaghetti carbonara, and so on. Now, the next 5, the Strip, Panache, Astral, Beer Brat, and Shepherd's Pie, you have to have the Atlantean magazine in order to get the recipe to make the rest of them. So that's 84 different food items, which we will look at today. So knowing how Starfield has set up its Outpost system, to make 84 products, you must think that you need an extensive network. For example, when I was just making all of the finished products, the hard goods, titanium fuel rods, and zero wire, and so on, in this Zetopiki site, I needed a network of 20-some planets and 30 cargo links altogether to do it. What do we need in order to do this outpost? That's it. We only need alkanes and water that would be provided by the outpost itself. Nutrient and fiber we can create using Betamax's seaweed tanks. Quark degenerate, spice, aromatic membrane, metabolic agent, gastronomic delight we can make right on the site with his organics cloner, providing nutrient and water. That's all that's required for those. So now seeing what the plan was, I had to come up with a place to put the factory. So I did my research and chose IXL2 because it has alkanes, water, and plants that could be domesticated for nutrient and fiber, under the theory that I would supplement the seaweed tank production system. Well, I set that all up, built a bunch of seaweed tanks, built a bunch of greenhouses for nutrient and fiber. It still didn't do it. Then the Betamax announced that he had doubled the capacity of the seaweed tanks. So, okay, well, that was great. I put a few more down. It still wasn't enough. So I decided I'd take the radical step and take my advice from my previous video on Betamax's mods, and I would build a nutrient factory. I'd build it on Venus, which has water, and it has a ratio of 1 local hour to 100 hours of universal time. So I knew that my seaweed tanks would really do a great job of producing a lot of nutrient. And here's what it looks like. Well, here we are on Venus. You see I've set up a little system here. Over there I am getting helium from Mercury, which then feeds my cargo link here. And I have my industrial camp Lars set up with 32 seaweed tanks. And they are feeding this container. I've cut the link over to my output here just so I can show you what's what. Here's Wicked's reactor that can sit right on the platform. So let's go down and show you what it looks like. Okay, I've got a very low gravity here, of course, on Venus. Okay, so we got about 18 nutrients. So when I need a bunch of nutrients, let's go here, and I'm going to sleep for, let's say, 6 hours. And in 6 hours, we have 30,000 nutrients. So, in a day, I have enough nutrient to last me a long time. So I'm going to reconnect everything, and let's go back to our main outpost. Here's an overhead view of the whole factory. It's basically 2 industrial camp larges from something wicked. This is the cargo link here that's coming in from Venus. It's the nutrient goes into this container, which then gets distributed multiple times between the different levels of food production that are going on here. Over on the side here is a walled fortification from something wicked, and I have my fiber production greenhouses there. Then there are multiple extractors for water. Here's a fortified crew station with laser turrets that's guarding this entrance over here. And this is the alkanes machine right here, extractor, that is producing alkanes that is required by several products. So that's basically the setup. Let's go down and see what it looks like. From ground level, you can see it is really something. And I must say, even with all of these links and must be over 100 different objects, I haven't had any problems with performance. So that's terrific. Well, let's go out of build mode and take a look at what actually is happening here. So here we are down on the floor, and the general layout here is that each machine is placed in front of its container where its food as it's being made is being placed. And these containers are all supplied by Betamax because in Starfield, food is not considered a solid, a liquid, a gas, or a finished product. It requires its own special container, similar to the chems and meds that we looked at last time. Well, anyway, down on this side is my organic farm. And I've got a couple here that are making the quark degenerate tissues. And then if we just pick out one of these other ones, you'll see from the menu that I could make any organic material. This one is membrane. It just requires nutrient and water. And it's the same for all of these. This is my container for the quark degenerate tissues. It's empty because it's being used by other products. Now, this is the meat and dairy aisle. And if you go down and look at some of these, there's alien egg, milk, synthemeat, chicken, hamburger, steak, yogurt. I think the last one, I have several fabricators that are making butter because butter is very desirable in this world. On the other side is our grain factory, the Red Harvest Group, and it's lentils, rye, spaghetti, wheat, sparkling wine, one exception, and pale ale, another one. Nebula what? Stellar kebabs, Galaxy lo mein. You can see it's a nice variety of materials. And again, as we looked at before, we have our, I think this one is probably nutrient and aromatic. Aromatic and spice are the two big groups that are heavily in demand as we make our food. So on this level, we have 4 different groups that start with the exotic. And that one looks like this: alien kebabs, pies, stew, stir fry, and so on. Behind them are the specials, which is the strip steak, panache, astral sliders, beer, brat, platter, and shepherd's pie. These are the most valuable of our finished products. And you could see up here, of course, here's everything that's being made. Crispy alien nuggets. Over here is the produce aisle. Here we're making carrots, but you see you can make all of these products. Fruits and vegetables. I have a couple of the advanced nutrition kiosks here, which I'm going to be covering in depth in video 2, but I need it here in order to make tofu, but meal packed tofu, not plain tofu. So that's a distinction that you have to make here. And again, this is the produce group. On the other side is what is called basic. And let's go up and take a look at what there is. This alien sandwich and alien scramble, alien tea, cheese sandwich, ham and cheese. Behind it is the old Earth group. And these are the old familiars: barbacoa wrap, bolognese, carbonara, chapacuri, chicken marsala, chicken tikka, and they're all being made here. So as you can see, this is quite a complicated situation. Up here are the vending machines, which, and this will be a preview of the next video. Make all of these boom pops and Terra Brews. All of it is going to be coming in video 2. So that is the wrap up of this particular construction. As I said, this was one of the more complicated ones that I've done with so many different products. And I have to confess, I don't make every single one of them that are on the menus. I kind of limited it to those that are really required to make other products. But I have most of them, as you can see, and Andrea is very happy with me too. So, guys, if you like the video, please subscribe and give me a thumbs up. And please come back for video number 2. I will leave links to everything, including these cool signs, which is something which I just discovered. Really helps keep me focused on what I'm doing here. So I'll see you in the next time. Okay, bye-bye.